Hi, good evening, all. We'll get started in about 2 minutes as people are logging on. Thank you very much.
I don't know. Probably want to join.
Miss Shay, there's a maximum participant limit of 100, and we've hit that limit.
No,
So
there's not. I bought the Zoom.
that's what Christine and Kaylin are saying on the chat, and Elizabeth Mao and Daniel.
Mr. John, what do you want to do about that? It was supposed to go up to 500.
Oh.
Yeah, I think, well, we're going to record the presentation. So,
Stream it, Ishan.
I think Matt Gu is trying to live stream it. If somebody sends me the link to it, I can put it in the chat.
yes, that's a great idea.
I am more than willing to log off and allow other students to come on. This is Miss Day. I can log off so more students can come on.
Well, we'd love for you to stay.
I know, but I prefer to have more students. Okay, I can do
the same.
Sign out. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, Miss A.
Bye, Miss
I'll
Day.
log off too. This is Miss Montgomery. I'll log off and I'll watch it later.
We'll miss you.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Thank you, Miss Day.
Thanks, everyone. I had said it.
Bye.
I bought a subscription so that we could have more than 100.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Did you want me to go so more students can come in?
I don't want you to go, but I do want more students to come in.
Okay, so I totally, and this is for them, not about me. So I'm gonna go. But thank you so much for the invitation.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I get it.
I'll say a goodbye then as well.
Thank you, Dr. Sparks.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Bye, guys.
Jay, you did activate the limit, right?
I can leave too.
So Nancy, we should go ahead and get off so that the other students can come on. Is that what we should do, just as a matter of policy?
It's up to you.
Well, I mean, we want the kids on there. I saw Meghna saying something that there might be some kind of adjustment made. Should we wait or should we go?
I'm not going to shut it off and reboot it.
I got you.
Get a whole new login. So thank you for coming.
Okay. Well, guys, you were wonderful and congratulations. I want as many students on there as possible. So farewell. And it was Great, congratulations. Take it easy.
Take care, Mr. Thomas.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I'm gonna leave too. Bye-bye.
So, Ms. Shea and Mr. Jallin, I can go after greeting folks, but I'd like to hear, and I will, I'd like to hear from the student who said that they're going to live stream it. I'm just curious, how can you live stream it? I think it's a great idea. I'm just trying to learn something. How do you live stream a Zoom?
That's interesting. I might stick around for that.
So I think Ishan is working on live streaming, is my understanding. I'm fairly certain that's who was sharing.
Yeah, Matt Gu is right now setting up his live stream since he has a setup for himself, and I will get the link out as soon as I can.
Great, thank you very, very much.
So, Mr. Jallin, should we wait until they're able to share it with all the other IB seniors through a distribution network?
Yeah, Ishan, if you can give me a signal when Matt is able to publish that link, that would be awesome.
Sorry for the delay, folks.
He said it'll take 1 or 2 more minutes.
Thank you.
Sure, no sweat.
Students to the rescue again. Thank you all so much.
This whole era has been about students solving all of our technical problems. We old people have learned a lot, though. And where will we be posting the link?
We have a Facebook chat for all the IB seniors, and then I can also post it here if some people want to watch there or any other way.
Thank you. Ishan to the rescue. How we doing, Ishan?
Just waiting for him to get it up. I have no control over it. I'm just a messenger.
Jellen, we could start 7:10 and
Yeah, he's having some audio issues, so that may be the right thing to do. And then
Sure.
recording will fill in the beginning, and then as soon as we get it up and running, I'll put it in the chat.
because our featured speaker will not be for at least 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Up to you.
Yeah, I think once we have that link, that can be sent out and distributed, and then we'll send out the recording as soon as the presentation is over here, along with the video link at the end. So that'll work. So good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight as we honor the RMIB class of 2020. I'd like to begin tonight with reflections from Mr. Monteleone, a principal that goes above and beyond to make this program the flagship in the county. And just a big thank you to Mr. Monteleone for teaching students in the classroom and also modeling how a school builds a more peaceful world through intercultural understanding and respect. So Mr. Monteleone, if you could say a few words.
Yeah, I just want to, again, welcome everybody, and I appreciate those of you who are going to deal with our technical difficulties. Many of you know I had some issues with the awards ceremony last week, so I appreciate your flexibility here. I'm just really proud of this class of 2020. You'll hear more if you tune into our virtual graduation speech, but you students out there, right? Like you all, and I'm going to paraphrase some of the things that I wrote in my speech, but you all were born in the direct aftermath of 9/11. You were young children as this country engaged in wars of choice in the Middle East. You were witness to the first Black president this country has ever seen. You were raised with a screen or an iPhone in hand and social media at your disposal. You were witness to the first reality TV president. You have seen a lot. You went to high school and grew up having to learn to possibly barricade your doors of your classrooms from an active shooter. I've seen you all as freshmen and sophomores walk out of RM to have your voice heard about the election of 2016, about gun violence in schools, about rights of minorities and LGBTQ+ community. You have grown up as activists. I see you all as a class that truly has lived the tenets and mission statement of the International Baccalaureate Program. I have said this before, I will not stop saying it as long as I am the principal of Richard Montgomery, and that is, I truly believe that the world that you all have created at RM, both within the IB program and the Magnet, but also throughout the entire school, is a school and a community of learners, a diverse group of people who are tolerant, who are kind, who are largely respectful of other opinions, and people with opinions other than your own can also be right. And you are a model for what an inclusive community can be. I do believe that you are an example of what this country will someday be. And given all these events that we've seen over the last week and the crescendo, right? You have gone through all of that in your lives. You have had like these incredible memories that most of us have taken for granted as we went through high school. You've had those memories taken from you because of this pandemic. And now, just as the pandemic starts to ease, perhaps, you are graduating and celebrating your senior year in the shadow of historic civil unrest. And so I would say that, you have the opportunity to do something with this. You can be upset, you can disengage, you can check out, you can feel as though memories have been robbed without walking across the stage or having a prom or being able to be in the auditorium for this event. Or you can use this, hopefully, as a catapult to making a difference in this world. And you are brilliant kids. And I have no doubt that each and every one of you will go on and be successful independently in your own way and find success and happiness. But I ask you to think about what you can do to pay it forward. What can you do to reach back and lift others up so they also have the experience that you have had, and break down barriers for those who may not have been as fortunate as you in your lifetime with the education and the families and the environment that you grew up in. So I'm really, really proud of this class. You are a historic class. This year will go down in history like 1860, 1865, 1941, 45, 1968, and 2020. And you are a part of that. I do want to say one thing. I hope it's okay. I'd like to share something that I read on Twitter and through the Tides website maybe about a month or so ago that was written by Ashley Yee. Ashley is one of the editors of the Tide, and the Tide editors were asked to reflect on their experiences at RM. And I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm not even going to read most of the article, but I would like to just summarize something and pull out a couple of salient points. Ashley writes in her editorial, "The first thing my mom said to me after receiving 5 college rejections in a span of 10 minutes was, 'I guess RM wasn't worth it, huh?'" And Ashley goes on through the course of her essay to essentially say, you know what? Yes, it was. And my experience at RM was more than about completing tasks and more than about getting perfect grades, but my experience at RM was about my friends, was about the connections I made, was about the memories and my environment in which I grew. And she writes, "Through thick and thin, my friends have always been at my side." And Ashley writes to the class of 2021 and beyond, "Take initiative of your high school experience. Talk to people. Take calculated risks. My favorite high school memories came from the people I surrounded myself with. And these 4 years fly by quickly. So make the most of it while you can." And I think Ashley's words of wisdom are something that you can carry on to your university experience and beyond. And I appreciate those words. It has been my honor to be your principal. You are a transformative class within our magnet program. You are a bridge to the future, and you have experienced things that, quite frankly, nobody probably in the history of graduating classes in this country has experienced. And so I thank you, I honor you, and I truly hope that RM was not just a transitional experience. And what I mean by that is I hope we were not just a means to an end from middle school to college, but that the experiences that you that you had at RM, the relationships you've made, and the ideas that you were exposed to will last longer than perhaps the perfect 4.0 in your transcript. And so I thank you. I appreciate you. I know how much you contribute to the school. I know how much you mean to the success of the school. And I do believe the magnet is a significant fundamental piece of our building, because the high level of expectations and the academic culture that you create for yourselves does have a lasting effect and a trickle-down effect on all students in the school. Thank you for being models. Thank you for being examples to the community. And I wish you the best in the future. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Monteleone. You know, the senior celebration for me is actually one of my favorite events of the year, and I'm very sorry that we're not able to hold it the way we normally would in the auditorium. I hope that we get a chance to be together soon as a cohort at some point in the future. And a congratulations, a big congratulations on completing your quest for your IB diploma together under the strangest of circumstances. IB exams are a bit of a special kind of rite of passage. And while I'm sorry you didn't get that full IB exam experience, I don't think that many of us are shedding tears over not being required to take those full span of IB exams, sitting in the cafeteria and the auditorium. No matter what, though, you all have earned our praise, our appreciation for the learning you've undertaken and the personal growth that you've demonstrated. The world certainly needs your drive, your problem-solving skills, and your compassion more than ever right now.
Thank you, Mr. Jellin. In conversations with colleagues about the class of 2020 this week, the words smart, hardworking, and talented were often repeated to describe this cohort. And these certainly are characteristics that Mr. Jellin, Ms. Clarkson, Mrs. Day, Mrs. Montgomery, and I will remember when we recall our time with you. Forgive me for mentioning this, but the words fastidious about deadlines will probably not be a quality that we will remember you for. But here's the thing about memory. Your actions and words will determine how you are remembered. While it's important to be intelligent, it is equally important to be kind in your personal interactions, on social media, and yes, even in yearbook readings. If you are smart and you treat others with kindness, there is no limit to the good you can achieve. The IB mission statement encourages students to use their learning to make the world a better place. There's so much to fix out there right now, but we know you will not disappoint. Each year, one of the highlights of the senior celebration is a teacher who has been selected by the students to speak and to give final words of wisdom. Who better to do that than Mr. Todd Stillman? He is, as we all know, one of the finest human beings on the planet and also a really, really incredible teacher. Thank you, Todd Stillman.
Hey gang, it's good to see everybody. This is different and just really weird. Lots of you look like you could use a haircut. All right, so here we go. This is the last Zoom of the day, and it's great that we got the class of 2020 back together one last time to celebrate their accomplishments. It's going to be a bittersweet occasion because it's not just a celebration, it's also a goodbye. It's been a long road to get to this point. So many of you have spent so many long hours, late nights, and early mornings. You've jumped through so many hoops of fire, almost all of them, except for prom and the exams. No one understands this better than your teachers, just how hard this thing has been, because we've seen you when you faltered. Many of you have had your moments of doubt, questioning whether you could do this thing. Many of you have had moments of procrastination, where instead of just getting on with it, you posted one last TikTok and took a nap. You probably felt guilty afterwards. Beyond the learner profile and the mission statement, beyond the operations of the mitochondria and tribulations of Hamlet, what you've learned in this program is the value of hard work. It's the most important of the life lessons that you're going to learn in high school. When you focus your effort, you can accomplish things, and this will remain true to you throughout your life. You wouldn't have gotten through this whole thing without a lot of help. And so it's important on a night like tonight and over the next few days that you are grateful. Be grateful for the parental support system that has helped make this possible. This is their accomplishment too. They've packed your snacks and driven you around and kept a roof over your head for 18 years. And you owe them a debt of gratitude. You also owe a debt of gratitude to Mr. Jellin, Miss Montgomery, Miss Day, and especially Miss Shea. They make sure that you got every last component complete. It was I'm going to use many adjectives here. Humongous, gargantuan, enormous effort that went well beyond their duty day. And this celebration is as much for them as it is for you. We were all in this together, and this happens as a community. When I was asked to speak last week, I was initially honored to do this. But I soon realized that this was going to be harder than my usual speechifying. In class, I just get to riff, go on and on about whatever. But to say something in a situation like this, in this medium, that is both timely and timeless, that honors 4 years of effort and this moment at one time, is a big ask. And frankly, I'm not sure that I'm up to it. Nothing makes a history teacher feel smaller than momentous events that are out of our control. Teachers thrive on interaction. We're extroverts, and we're used to being around young people day to day. And over the last 3 months, I've been here in the Fortress of Solitude, basically alone, staring at a screen all day, doing 6 Zooms a day. And it's quite different as I watch history unspool on a screen. And I'm not sure I know where it's going. I don't know where it's going. And it's hard for me to comment on what this all means. The mass death in our hospitals, the mile-long lines at food banks, the tear gas wafting through the air in the streets of our nation's cities have put to rest a lot of long-standing myths about American exceptionalism. It's unsettling, but it's also a unique opportunity for you and I to see social relations for what they really are. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca teaches us, difficulties strengthen the mind. Difficulties strengthen the mind. When we write the history curriculums, it's usually couched in pedagogical language of concepts and skills. But at bottom, really, the secret of history is that it's a moral discourse. It's about the manifold ways in which things can go right and things can go wrong. Peel back the layers, and you'll find deeply held beliefs about dignity, liberty, community, and equality. The thesis of our history course this year has been that ideas and ideals shape history for better and for worse. And when the disconnect between ideals and reality becomes too vast, when the myths and illusions are no longer sustainable in the face of facts, that's when change becomes possible. And the catalyst for change, as we literally argued in the last day of class 2 weeks ago, is an event. You've got long-running trends, and then you have events that catalyze. And so, after a series of events, we have entered a moment where agency and action have reappeared on the scene. We've received the greatest wake-up call in the history of our country, if not the world. This is it. It's the biggest one. Never before in the history of the world has it ever happened that a large fraction of humanity just stopped for 3 months to ask themselves, their family, their community, and their country, what the heck are we doing? You are driven and precocious young people. You have ambitions in fields like computer science, medicine, the law, academia, and business. Many of you already conceive of yourself as a STEM person or a humanities person, and you've bristled at the programmatic requirements of the IB that have asked you to stretch beyond the narrow boundaries of your interests. Events have reminded us of the inherent problems with specialization. We find ourselves in desperate need of politicians who understand science, economists who understand psychology, policemen who understand history, and scientists who understand the value of rhetoric. If there's ever been a moment that makes the interdisciplinarity of the IB diploma clearly necessary, it's this one. You need to understand a little bit of everything in order to do one thing well. It is that broad context and broad understanding that allows you to do things properly and to contribute what you have to contribute. You will need these skills because the past 3 months have made it clear how much work there is to do. Our country needs to address fundamental problems of economic freefall, healthcare access, political toxicity, science skepticism, and institutional racism, and climate change. You didn't forget about that one either, did you? As future leaders, I want to urge you to take seriously your responsibility to leave this world in better condition than when you found it. We need young people with energy, ethics, and imagination to help see a way forward. No one knows how this thing is going to end. And if I'm honest with you, it could go either way. But the extent to which you can make your world a better place, help your family and community, make your voice heard in this cacophony online, that could help tip the balance. So this brings me back to some of the timeless questions that all high school graduates have to ask. Who am I? Where do I fit in? What is the life well led? I think you already understand that your future is going to be punctuated by weird turns and unexpected events. Sometimes it takes a while for people to figure that out. You guys got it straight out of the gate. There will be happiness and there will be hardship, and it's going to be mixed up together. As you go forward, I urge you, think for yourself and care for others. Realize that you're going to find a sense of accomplishment in hard work. You're going to find opportunities in unexpected places. Your understanding of the world will evolve continually as life unfolds, as long as you stay engaged. And most importantly, that you are responsible for leaving this world in better condition than you entered it. Class of 2020, I urge you one last time to be good, be safe, and use your head. Best of luck, everybody. We're going to miss having you around. Come back and see us, and we look forward to seeing you again. Take care, guys. Nice group. I'm going to mute now.
Hi, thank you, Stillman, that was perfect. Each year, the IB office and teachers select students who have exemplified the characteristics of the IB learner through their engagement, insight, and authentic caring and curiosity. The names of these students will be engraved on that plaque you've seen before outside of Suite 200 and will be there forever.
Why does my computer always close? Because I told them I was going to close.
Everybody, please silence, mute yourselves. The 2020 winner for the CAS Award is Rose Lee. Among many other CAS achievements, Rose developed and implemented a tutoring program at Twinbrook for which she recruited and trained dedicated students to act as tutors. To see Rose interacting with the tutors, teachers, and students of Twinbrook is to see the most graceful combination of intelligence and compassion. The legacy of her service will benefit members of the RM community for a lifetime. Thank you so much, Rose. Winning the Extended Essay Award for the class of 2020 is Rena Levy. Rena's dedication to her topic was evidenced by the amount of time she spent refining her research question, writing and rewriting her paper, the quality of the research she conducted, and the product itself. Rena, thank you so much for showing us how to make the EE fun and rewarding. The Theory of Knowledge Award for the class of 2020 goes to Jackson Baker. Perhaps Jackson's parents will agree with me when I say that Jackson never tires of a good argument or epistemological debate. He brought daily, relentless joy and curiosity to his TOK classes without fail. Jackson, you exemplify the type of inquiry that is central to the study of theory of knowledge. We know it will serve you well. Finally, the overall IB awards for the class of 2020 go to Frances Durso and Samantha Brown. We live in an age that seems to reward cynicism and expediency, but by recognizing the efforts of Samantha and Frances, The IB program at RM acknowledges the power of the fully actualized IB learner. Francis and Samantha, thank you. Thank you for engaging with your IB education in a most earnest and intelligent fashion. We've loved your curiosity and your desire to meet every challenge with optimism and a sincere love of learning. Congratulations, award winners, and congratulations, of course, to all DP candidates.
Again, I add my congratulations. And so this brings us to the conclusion of our Zoom portion of tonight's program. And we know that the achievements of the IBDP class of 2020 deserve a bigger and bolder send-off than we're able to offer tonight. Class of 2020, though, we hope we can make it up to you someday. We're gonna miss your spirit. We're gonna miss your laughter. We're gonna miss you in the hallways. You will always have a special place in our hearts. So I just want to say a big congratulations and see you soon.
Before we end, though, some thanks are due. I first want to thank this year's Montgomery County candidate for the Washington Post Principal of the Year, in case you all hadn't heard that, Damon Monteleone. He gets the IB program and acts on the belief that it is worth it for all kinds of learners. Joe Jellin, thank you for seeing our students through their tough times and for celebrating their successes. The RM Magnet program has never had it so good, and anybody who's paying attention knows that. Cindy Montgomery and Cheryl Day, you are the force of the IB office. There is not a detail or a student that ever slips through your fingers. I will write an etiquette book one day that features only your side of the telephone conversations you have had with parents of very small children who call because they want to know what they can do now to make sure that their 3-year-old gets into the IB program in 12 years. Teachers, words fail. What you did this year at the end to collect IAs, the patience, the industry, the intelligence, you're the best. Thank you also to Lila Katz for all the work you did in order to make sure this program got off the ground. And thank you, Rena and Jackson, for helping. Also, thank you so much to Ishan Oberoi for putting together the video that you're about to watch. Finally, thank you, students and parents of the class of 2020. Parents, you grew to trust our vision for the RM Magnet IB program. Your children reflect the power of that vision. We thank you for your support. So now let's go to the tape, and I believe Mr. Jellin will be posting it on the chat. About the tape, just briefly, all 168 students were asked to submit a 35-second clip in which they shared their names, plans for next year, and their favorite IB memories. 32 of the 168 students, I believe that's less than 20%, turned it in on time, which I'd like to point out is equal to the number of students who actually attended our silver platter ceremony for the EE in October. The film is sort of a tearjerker, I admit, so be forewarned. You can find the link to the video in the chat feature. Good night, goodbye, we love you, be well.
Bye, Ms. Shea. Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you so much.
Fire. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, all.
Bye, Ms. Shea. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Good to see you all. Hey, Rena.
Thank you, Ms. Shea.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Congratulations, winners. Congratulations, everybody.
Bye, Nadia.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much.
Man,
Mateo.
where are you? You look like you're in a classroom.
This is my mom, and that's my dad. So much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, Miss Shay.
Thank you.
Abdullah, with your medal.
Abdullah, you're the best.
Oh.
We're proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Love you too.
How are we doing, everybody? Mr. Stillman, that was the speech that needed to be written. That was it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was tough. Kids are going to miss these kids.
I would just say I would love for Mr. Stillman to share a copy of that speech because that was one in a million.
Can you?
Oh, thank you.
Send me an electronic copy? And
Let me fix the punctuation.
Do you mind if I share it with
That's fine. Let me clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, you don't have to do it right now.
Okay.
Really, thank you.
Yeah, that was Mr. Stillman. That was just incredible. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to watch this video. I'm looking forward to it. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Jellin. Thank you, Nancy.
Bye, Bonnie.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. All right. I'm going to check out now. Okay? Bye.